Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Love for Haitian Food and Other Foods. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please like, share this video, and subscribe to my channel if you like what you see here. Today I'm going to show you how to make shepherd's pie. It's not a Haitian dish, but you guys know I had to add my Haitian flavor to it. So if you want to see how I make it, stay tuned. Guys, please remember that all recipes can be found on my website, loveforhaitianfood.com. With that being said, let's get to the video. To make this, you will need lamb, onions, épices, garlic, butter, ketchup, salt, smoked paprika, black pepper, thyme, peas and carrots, corn, flour. And this is for the meat mixture. That's for the meat mixture. For our potato topping, potatoes, milk, cheese, butter, cream cheese, and an egg yolk. In case you're wondering, this is what 2 pounds of potatoes look like. Now, it can vary depending on the size of your potatoes. I actually used my scale to weigh it. It wasn't too exactly, it was like a little bit over 2 pounds. So this is what I'm using. I'm gonna use russet potatoes for this recipe. You can use any kind of potatoes that you like. First thing I'm gonna do is salt my water, then add my potatoes and let that cook for about 20 to 30 minutes. Oh, and yes, I peeled them and cut them in half. Next, I'm gonna add my butter and let that melt a little. Then my onions and saute that for about a minute. This is the kind of lamb that I used. I'm not showing you this to tell you that this is what you have to buy. I'm just showing you what I bought. And yes, it's expensive, right? And it's not 1.5 pounds exactly. I didn't find 1.5 pounds exactly. So this is what I got. But for the recipe, you could use the same amount or you could use the 1.5 pounds. It will still work the same. You can also use ground beef for this recipe, but the recipe traditionally, I guess, well, we're not doing everything traditional now, are we? But traditionally, in quotations, it's supposed to be made with lamb. So I was walking through the supermarket and I saw the lamb, so I bought the lamb. Then I add my lamb and start breaking it up with my wooden spatula. Next is my épices. Sprinkle that up in there and mix it all together. And you want to keep on breaking the meat as you go, as it's cooking, because you don't want it to be clumpy. And then when it gets to this nice brown color, we're gonna add the flour. Sprinkle all that flour in there. Cook the flour for about 2 to 3 minutes to get rid of that raw flour flavor. And then we're gonna mix everything together. And you're gonna see that some of the flour is going to stick to the bottom of the pan, I guess depending on what kind of pan you're using. And you just wanna continue scraping the bottom of the pan and making sure you get all of that mixed into the meat. Now I'm adding my garlic. And yes, my garlic is green. That sometimes happens after it's been sitting for a while. It's perfectly fine to consume, so don't worry, okay guys? And then next, my salt, smoked paprika, and black pepper. Give that a little shaky shake and sprinkle that over it. Put some salt and thyme. And now my thyme. I don't want to just put the leaves in there, well, the stem and the leaves, so I'm just gonna scrape the leaves off and put that in there. And if you don't have fresh thyme, you could just use dried thyme. That would be easier actually. Next, I'm adding my ketchup. And now I'm gonna mix all of that together. Make sure we get everything well incorporated. And now I'm gonna add some water, not a lot, And you know, that's gonna help with getting that flour unstuck from the bottom of the pan. So we're just deglazing the pan with the water. And then we just want to mix all of that together, get the sides, scrape everything down because you want everything in there mixed well properly. See how nice and thick it got? Now I'm adding my peas and carrots, followed by my corn. I love corn, guys. Oh my God. And now you mix all of that together. Just get it all mixed in, well incorporated. And that's about it for the meat mixture. Of course, you want to taste it for salt and make sure that it's to your preference. Back to the potatoes. I'm just checking it to make sure that it's done and my fork is going in easily. So I am going to turn the stove off, and I drained my potatoes. Now I'm adding my butter, my cream cheese, and we mash. And I'm gonna start mashing all of that together. And we mash, and we add our cheese. Next, I add my cheese, and then I continue to mash it up. And yes, I am singing a song about making mashed potatoes right now. I'm using white cheddar in case you're wondering. So you just want to continue mashing until the cheese and the butter and the cream cheese is well incorporated in there. The cheese is going to melt, but it's not going to be stringy. So don't worry about that. Here I'm just salting to taste. I felt like it needed a little more salt, so that's what I'm doing. And then I'm just gonna continue mashing. Here I have my egg yolk, and then I'm just adding some evaporated milk to it. And I'm gonna beat that together. Beat, beat, beat. Make sure it's well mixed, get the sides. And I'm gonna add that mixture to the mashed potatoes, and I'm going to keep on mashing. And guys, it's so fluffy. It made it super soft after adding the egg and the milk. And the egg is gonna hold everything together. So I just wanna keep on mashing to make sure that it's as smooth as possible. Guys, do you like this video? If you do, please give me a big thumbs up and share it with your people. It really helps the channel out when you do that. Thank you in advance. Yo, these mashed potatoes are like fluffy as hell. They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. Now to put everything together, I'm gonna add my meat mixture to the pan. Make sure I get all of that in there, and I'm gonna smooth it out to all corners of the pan in a nice flat layer. And then the fun / hard part, let's dollop the mashed potatoes on top. So you don't wanna just pour one big glob. You want to do several little globs, and then you're gonna spread it all out and try your best to not get the meat mixture on top. So you'll see what I'm talking about. Now that I have all of my mashed potatoes in there, I'm gonna go ahead and use the back of my spoon to smooth it out and try my best not to disturb the meat mixture that's underneath. So this part, I'm showing you guys how I did it in real time, just to show you how slow I was doing it, as to not to get the meat mixture mixed in with the mashed potatoes, because you don't want to do that. They're supposed to be 2 separate layers. So try your best. So once I smooth it out as best as I could, this is what we're looking like. I'm gonna use a fork and try to make like a little design on the top. Just run the fork, you know, back and forth on the mashed potatoes. And also this is gonna smooth out, I guess, the edges of it. Next, we're gonna put this in the oven and bake it for about 30 minutes. And after the 30 minutes, this is what we're looking like. Look at her. Isn't she gorgeous? I'm gonna be a little fancy and I'm gonna garnish it with some dried parsley. I didn't have any fresh, so I'm using dried, and that's okay because it still looks pretty. Now I am ready to cut into this baby. I'm doing it slowly because I don't want to mess up my square or rectangle. This pretty much looks like a rectangle. But regardless, there we go. We're gonna give it a lift. Oh my gosh. I was trying so hard not to mess this up. And place it nicely on the plate, and there you go. Yeah, I got a little crack in it, but it's not bad. And there you have it, a nice slice of shepherd's pie, and you guys already know what's next. Now is my favorite time to taste. Yes, Lord. Delicious. L'el bon, faut dire bon, li bon. I hope you guys try and like this recipe. Thank you for watching. Bye. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. Subscribe to my channel and watch some of my previous videos while you're here. Thank you.